Axiom is a GPU solver in Houdini, and I started using this recently, and it's phenomenally fast. It uses the GPU. It's great for pyro solves, and I actually asked GridMarkets if they consider supporting it, and about 2 weeks later they did, which is amazing. So this weekend I just started doing a quick test. This is like some kind of vortex idea, and I'm simming in Axiom here on my machine, low resolution, and I'm caching on my machine. So I'm just playing around with volumes, and I'm thinking about an idea. So I'm doing this all locally because it's very fast, and you can start to think about, here I'm advecting some particles through that smoke, and I'm just thinking about shapes with the idea that I will up the res of everything and send it to GridMarkets. And this is the first time I've done it. So here I'm just like advecting particles. What's amazing about GridMarkets is it obeys dependencies, and dependencies are everything in Houdini. It's very much a pipeline of a CG tool. It's like, do this, you define the order of things in which you're working. Here I'm working locally. I've advected some particles, and I'm starting to shape it slightly and think about things. But pretty much soon I go, okay, this point is my volume. This is what I'm highlighting at the moment. This is my volume sim, and that's going to go to the cloud. And then underneath that, under this node graph, this sort of procedural node graph, this is my particle setup. And here I'm going to send those particles. Those particles rely on that volume to be simmed first, its actual geometry. So before I send this off, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I go, okay, I'm going to say to GridMarkets, I'm going to do my cloud sim, then my particle sim. And then when all the geometry is ready, I'm going to do 2 renders in parallel using 30 machines in this case. One Arnold render for the volumes and 1 Mantra render for the particles. And then obviously you load up Envoy, which is a really nice interface. And once Envoy is running, I can submit this. And I know that the simulation of all the geometry, what's fantastic for me is that stays on the cloud. So here I'm just, the pre-flight scene, check the stuff, and I send it to the farm. It does all the sim, but then I just get my renders back, and I don't have to worry about the cache. And this is what I came up with. About 6 hours with Axiom, just playing around, about 6 hours working locally to develop the thing. And then when I sent it off, it took about over 30 machines. I think it was something like 2 or 3 hours, and I got everything back, which is phenomenal. So for me, when I'm making my film, where I've basically got a lot of stuff that I need to develop, and I need to do a lot of post-viz. So, you need to develop some effects and then do a post-viz so that you can slip the edit and make sure it's all working and time stuff. Just having that quick iteration is just absolutely needed. And if I was to do that on my own, that would take 4 or 5 days of rendering and simulating, and at that point I'd give up. So for me right now, that kind of quick iteration is amazing. That for me is why it's amazing, and that's what I'm going to use it for. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited about the possibilities.